So the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame announced its 2021 inductees. A couple of surprises here, and it's pretty different than what it was last year in terms of categories. A couple of the people that I said in my video that would get in, I predicted right. A couple of them I was wrong, but here it is. Well, I guess it's on the list. These people are on the list like Kraftwerk, but you'll see down here like Kraftwerk, they aren't in as a performer, but they're in as somebody who or a band that did early influence in the music industry. And if you go back and look at last year's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they had I think it was 5 people they put in as a performer, and then they had an award. This is it right here. They had one of these, a person with this award, and then like 5 people they put in. This year they have all these different awards. I've never seen this before. So I guess, but I also seen that if you get one of these awards, you are unable to be put in the hall as a performer. So you're semi snubbed, I guess. You're recognized, but you're also not in as a performer. And they're really touting this here. We are celebrating the most diverse list of inductees in the history of the organization. There's which I said that in my previous video too. They went with a on purpose a very diverse nominee list. And by diverse I mean it has a lot of females, it has a lot of people of color. That's what they were going for. And as you can see here, they put in Tina Turner, which is good. Cairo King, I didn't expect her to get him, but she did, which is really good. The Go Go's, female band that wasn't around for that long and is remembered for one song. They had more than one song, but that's the only one we remember them for some reason. They got in. They seem pretty happy about it, I've seen. To be honest, there could be dozens of more better picks than them, but okay. Jay-Z, the person that was at the very bottom of the fan vote, dead last. He was in dead last place because he's a rapper. He is not rock and roll. The Go Go's are even debatable as being rock and roll, but Jay-Z got in. They put another rapper in. The Foo Fighters, a band that came out of the ashes of Nirvana. Of course, the Hall loves grunge. I'm not sure if Foo Fighters was exactly grunge, but they aren't, soft rock or anything like that, or old fashioned rock and roll. They aren't that. But of course, they got in. And Todd Rundgren, who does not give a crap about the hall himself, he does not care. But he is going to be put in, which is really good. He's a freaking genius in the production department. And just as a musician, he's a genius. But he's going to be put in regardless of whether or not he cares. It's good to see. Kraftwerk will not get in as a performer, but they got an award. Like I said, they just electronic in the electronic music scene. This is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but they are an electronic band. But in the electronic music scene, they're just legendary. Now, there's a couple of people here I didn't even know who they are, like Charlie Patton, Jill Scott Heron, and Clarence Avant. I didn't know who these people were. I looked them up. One of them was like an old blues musician, and they're just. I don't know how they. Like, where. This was not on the fan vote, people. Billy Preston and Randy Rhoads were not on the fan vote, but they got awards here. We had no. Well, the fan vote itself is meaningless, but we still had no say, or felt like we had no say in these people being given awards because uh, they weren't on there. But I think is it Jill or one of these? I think Clarence is like 90 years old, and then this guy's dead, and this guy's like 60 years old. And of course, Billy Preston and Randy Rhoads have been dead for a long time. So three of these people here are not, they have not lived to see themselves get an award. And I don't see what good it does good for us being alive to see it. But the people that are dead, we can give all these dead people awards all day long, but they're not alive to see it. They're not alive to see themselves getting honored. So what good does it really do? It just doesn't. I mean, it's nice to see that, but they can't themselves. It's good to see, yeah, like Randy Rhoads, the good player. Billy Preston, really good. LL Cool J, he was, I think he was like second to last on the fan vote. Nobody wanted him to get anything, but he got a musical excellence award. I have no idea what he is good at in musical excellence. When I think of musical excellence, I think of a band from the 70s or 80s. I don't think of LL Cool J. The other two, sure, but not him. Like what? It looks so out of place. We've got these old bands and singers. We got Tina Turner, and then down south of her, we got Jay-Z. And then we got Billy Preston and Randy Rhoads, but then above him, they got LL Cool J. Like they just there's a certain few people and bands on these lists that just look so out of place. But anyway, and the last thing is an award to that guy. Here's a bit of stuff they said. They're going, as stated, for a very diverse group of picks on purpose. It reflects their ongoing commitment to honor people whose music created the sound of youth culture. Really? Youth culture. So I'm thinking, so these people created the sound of something that was, okay, for the young people when they were growing up. I guess I wouldn't really say maybe the Foo Fighters, maybe not the Go-Go's. I think Cyndi Lauper was more influential on youth culture in the 80s than the Go-Go's. Todd Rundgren's in a more progressive scene, but okay. John Sykes said that it will make for an unforgettable live celebration of music in October. This year's induction center. Yeah. By the way, the timeline for this, all this stuff has just been so screwed up. In a normal year, of course, Corona is here, and they're using that as an excuse. But on a normal year, they would announce the nominees in maybe October, November of the previous year before. So if they want to announce them for 2020, they'd announce them in November, maybe of 2019. And then they would announce the inductees in maybe February or something, and then have the induction ceremony in probably April. It'd be a pretty quick process. But what they did here, they announced them. So they announced the ones for 2021 in like, what was it, February of 2021. So they did that months late. And instead of having the ceremony in April, they're going to have it in October. So everything's behind, everything is delayed, which I'm not really a fan of, but okay. Yeah, they got to release something 25 prior. Yeah, I've touched on that before. So this tells you here that the fan vote was worthless. Ballots were sent to an international voting body of more than 1,200 people, including current living inductees, which, as we've seen, a lot of the ones they're putting in, a surprising amount, are dead. Oh, that's interesting too, is up here, Fela Kuti. He was number one for a time, but he was number two, I think, in the closing fan vote. Fela Kuti did not get in, which I guess, based on the amount of votes he got, I guess that must piss some people off. Doesn't piss me off. I didn't know who he was. historians and members of the music industry. What isn't that something how these people that are entitled can vote, but the normal person can't? This is what they say as factors here. An artist's musical influence on other artists. Okay, obviously we know that. Length and depth of career. In the body of work, innovation and superiority in style and technique are taken into consideration. If you look, there's a website called Not in Hall of Fame. I looked at that in my previous video. Some of the stuff on that website just seems like they're desperate for content. Like they put people on there that just really should not be in, but they put them on the website just because they're not there. But there's still a good amount of people on that site that have not gone in that fit this criteria. And I find it interesting here they don't say as a factor, they don't say commercial success. It's strange. They have influence, your career, judging your career, and your style and pretty much what you put out, what you did. Now, if you judge somebody on that, I can come up with just so many people off the top of my head that could come in. I could sit here all night listing people, but I've done that in my other video. I went through that site. I just went through all this list, page after page after page of people that should get in. Kate Bush did not get in, people. Kate Bush, in the art rock scene, she fits all this criteria. It's a form of rock. I mean, she's better fitted than Jay-Z. Ceremony would take place on October 30th. God, that's a long time from now. It'll be simulcast. It'll air at a later date. Oh, if you donate to them, or if you're a member of the Rock Hall, you get exclusive induction ticket opportunities. You're entitled. It's weird how there's like this strange hierarchy within the hall that only these certain 1,200 people get to vote. Only these certain people get a ticket opportunity. Like, come on. In terms of public involvement, there is none. And then, of course, at the end here, they go through the people. And you can look up on them, you can read up on them. Yes, they put Tina Turner in because she's black. We know she's black. Is that why they chose her, or did they choose her because they figured she's going to be dead before they put her in regularly? I mean, these people aren't young, and they're waiting so long. Cairo King, legend in the songwriting, singer-songwriter, soft rock scene. Really, the Go-Go's all-woman band of all time. I'm trying to think of what other. That's, I guess, one thing they have going for them. They are all female. Then again, like I said in another video of the B-52s. Put the B-52s in. Yeah, Jay-Z. No one has come close to knocking him off his throne. Maybe that's because probably by the time he got in the music industry, it had already went down the tank. Screw frickin' Jay-Z. The Foo Fighters. And I'll tell you right now, I've never listened to the Foo Fighters, ever. Never listened to them, unless maybe that one of their songs got popular. I might have heard it, but I don't know who it's by. But have never actively listened to them. No desire. They're supposed to. Oh, apparently they got authenticity, infectious hooks, in your face riffs. When I think of in your face riffs and monster drums, I think of freaking Black Sabbath or something. Not the Foo Fighters. Infectious hooks. Let me think of a rock band with hooks. Anything except them. Or Nirvana. Well, let me give you an example. Maybe Doctor Hook. Let me think of what else. The Guess Who. Oh, they were huge. They had nonstop hits. Todd Rundgren. Yeah, Jack of all trades is right. People are debating, by the way, whether or not he's even gonna show up to the ceremony because he doesn't care. It'd be good to see him there, but he's in, so good to see. Yeah, there. This is about right, right here. Kraftwerk, just absolutely legendary in the electronic scene. Not really in the rock scene, but they're in the rock. They got an award from the Rock Hall, but just undeniably influential. Oh yeah, that's the dead blues musician they put in. Okay, this is the person that's still alive, I think. No, 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 no. That person's dead too, I think. Yeah, they died in 20. I remember now. They died in 2011. So these two people are dead. Hardcore rap, sexy love songs. Yeah, that's what belongs in the Rock Hall. Exactly. Of course, Billy Preston's dead, and Randy Rhoads, I believe, is dead. And oh, this is the guy that's like 90 years old. Took him that long to put him in there, I mean, they didn't put him in. They gave him an award. Tickets, waste of time and money, and then they're promoting their merch, and that's it. So there you go. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2021 inductees. I'll go through quickly here some of the snubs. Mary J. Blige, deservedly so. Kate Bush, of course, I told you that's a crime. Devo's hit or miss. You can decide for yourself on that one. Iron Maiden, I'm okay with that. I listened to some Iron Maiden not that long ago. Nothing's particularly special there. Chaka Khan, that's a crime too. Fela Kuti, of course. The New York Dolls, which is okay. Rage Against the Machine, I'm fine with that. Dionne Warwick, yeah, legend in the soul scene, not really rock, but just because she's a legend and nobody's getting younger, she probably should have been put in over Jay-Z. But there you go. There's your snubs. There's the Rock Hall. Now I'm very curious of what they will. So they're going to have the ceremony almost in November. That's usually when they announce the nominees. So maybe they're going to wait till February again to announce the next ones. So we got a long, long waiting period ahead. Hopefully, we'll actually get like a regular 70s rock band on that instead of going for females and diversity.